diagnosis of secondary hemostasis. So we're going to explain what are the principles, okay, the required specimen for each test, what are the reagents used, the procedures, the clinical application, and what are the results expected for the laboratory diagnosis involving the secondary hemostasis. So let's start with the clot-based screening test. So this includes the Lee and White, okay, whole blood coagulation time test. So ito yung pinakaunang laboratory procedure that was designed to assess coagulation. So first, no, this is the first in vitro clot procedure, but remember, now this is already obsolete. So ang principle po nito, okay, you will measure the time interval from the initiation of clotting. Okay, from the initiation of clotting to visible clot formation. Okay, so this will reflect the whole coagulopathy of the secondary hemostasis. Okay, so eto na po ngayon yung ginagamit natin, okay, which are called the standard class-based coagulation tests, including the PT, PTT, fibrinogen assay, and the TCT or your thrombin clotting time. Okay? So, kaya ako diniscuss yung Lee and White kasi ang principle na itong mga standard clot-based coagulation test na to, we're using the principle of the Lee-White test. So, dyan po nag-originate yung mga principles na ginagamit natin up until today. So, let's begin with the prothrombin time. So, the principle of the prothrombin time is you have to measure the length of time required para mag-form ng fibrin clot. Usually, minimeasure natin to in seconds, and that is via optical or electromechanical sensors. So, we will be using the PPP or the platelet poor plasma, and then we're going to add the PT reagent. So this activates, the reagent activates the extrinsic and common pathway. So ang ibig sabihin nito guys is that yung PT natin or the prothrombin time measures the deficiency, if there's any deficiency in the extrinsic and the common pathway. Mapoprolong yung time required to form a clot kung may factor deficiency. Naintindihan? Tandaan, this is most sensitive to factor 7 deficiency. I repeat, most sensitive to factor 7 deficiency. Moderately sensitive to factor 5 and factor 10. And it is sensitive, okay, to severe factor 2 and factor 1 deficiencies. So, eto po yung hierarchy nung kanyang sensitivity. But mind you guys, kung may deficiency naman among the mentioned factors, then mapoprolong ang prothrombin time natin. Understood? So please do take note that Coumadin therapy suppresses your factor 7, factor 10, and your factor 2. Naintindihan? Okay, and of course, ito pong PT, insensitive naman siya sa mga factor deficiency that are involved naman in the intrinsic pathway. Okay, ano-ano ba yung mga intrinsic pathway? So, dito po si factor 8, factor 9, factor 12, okay? And of course, factor 13. So, hindi po mapoprolong yung prothrombin time kung ang deficient na factor is belonging to your intrinsic. Including, guys, si factor 13. Including si factor 13. Okay po? Okay, so why is this insensitive to those factors? Because the concentration of the tissue factor in the reagent that you will be using here is very high. So if you remember, yung mga factors na nabanggit natin are bypassing in the thrombin generation. Okay? So, ano po ba ang composition ng PT reagent? So, again, ang specimen natin is our PPP, platelet poor plasma. So, para makuha natin yung plasma na yan, we will be using the citrate. So, let's go now to the reagent. The reagent, the PT reagent, has high amount of tissue factor. Okay, that is suspended in phospholipid mixed with buffered 0.025 m solution of your calcium chloride. Okay, so for the fibrinogen, guys, tandaan po yung factor 1. Okay, this is sensitive kung yung deficiency is less than 100 milligram per dl. I repeat, less than 100 milligram per dl. Okay. So, ma'am, saan po galing ang tissue factor? That will be coming from the organic extract of emulsified rabbit brain or lung. Okay? So, dyan po galing yung tissue factor. Next. So, let's move on to the reference interval. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina, okay, yung PT or the prothrombin time, that is from the time that clot initiation happens until a fibrin clot is formed. So, ang reference interval po natin dito to say that it is still normal is 12.6 to 14.6 seconds. But again, this will depend on the manufacturer's recommended reference interval, kasi iba-iba po yun, depende kasi yan sa level nung tissue factor na meron sa reagent ng bawat manufacturer. But generally, that is between 12.6 to 14.6 seconds. So, saan po natin ina-apply ang prothrombin time? So, pagka nagmo-monitor tayo ng oral anticoagulant therapy, okay? Hemorrhagic disorder such as the DIC. DIC is disseminated intravascular coagulation. If you remember kasi sa DIC, nako-consume yung mga coagulation factors, including na dyan ang factor 7. Okay? Liver diseases. So if you know, ang protein na factor 7 ay nasisynthesize sa liver. Naintindihan? Ang half-life ng factor 7 ay 6 hours. Correct? Tapos, mga vitamin K deficiency. Okay? So, yung vitamin K deficiency happens because of severe malnutrition o kaya may malabsorption syndrome. Malabsorption syndrome, yung vitamin hindi po na-absorb from the diet. O kaya naman, gumamit ng broad spectrum antibiotic. If you remember yung mga normal flora natin, very important yan para ma-convert yung vitamin K natin into functional form. So, kung sinira or na-destroy ng antibiotic or broad spectrum antibiotic, yung mga normal flora natin, then therefore, hindi natin mako-convert sa functional form yung vitamin K. And similarly, that will result to vitamin K deficiency. Sa mga newborn, okay, vitamin K levels are low in newborn. Bakit? Kasi po wala pa pong bacterial colonization sa gut ang mga newborns. Okay? So, in cases of that, maaapektuhan yung factor 7 because factor 7 is vitamin K dependent. Remember? So when these all happen, napoprolong ang PT ng patient. Understood? So, paano natin madidistinguish si liver versus vitamin K deficiency using the PT test? Okay? So, kailangan nating i-determine ang factor 5 at ang factor 7 levels. So, tandaan, ang liver disease, lahat ng protein maaapektuhan kung may liver disease. So, kung factor 5 at factor 7 levels ang kailangan natin i-assess. Kapag liver disease, anong mangyayari? Mababa ang levels ng factor 5 and factor 7 kung liver disease. Kung vitamin K lang, ang mababa lang is your factor 7. Clear po ba yon? Bakit? Because factor 5 is not a vitamin K dependent factor. Naintindihan? So kung i-distinguish natin si liver disease, kasi parehas na mahaba, no, mapoprolong ang PT sa liver at vitamin K deficiency, you have to use or you have to measure the level of 7 and 5 factors. So in liver disease, I repeat, kasi nga karamihan ng proteins are synthesized in the liver, both are reduced. Clear? And in vitamin K deficiency, only 7. Okay? So these are some considerations, okay, which we've already discussed last time. Remember that? Okay. So for prolonging your PT, no, dapat hindi tayo gumamit ng heparin. I repeat, heparin will prolong your PT. So anong ginagawa natin para ma-neutralize si heparin? Nag-a-add po tayo ng polybrin. So I repeat, heparin prolongs PT. So to neutralize the heparin, we need to add polybrin. Polybrin is as well as known as hexadimethrin bromide. Okay? Polybrin is as well as known as hexadimethrin bromide. So lupus anticoagulant, no, also prolong, no, your PT. Lupus anticoagulant, LAC, prolongs PT. Okay? So that is because your antiphospholipids, okay, antibody family, and this may partially neutralize your PT reagent phospholipid. Okay? Because of the antiphospholipid antibody that partially neutralizes your PT reagent phospholipid. So, kapag yung patient nagtitake siya ng lupus anticoagulant or even Coumarin, hindi po natin pwedeng i-consider na reliable yung PT. Instead, ang gagamitin natin, factor 10 assay. I repeat, you use factor 10 assay. Ulitin ko ha, yung mga patient na gumagamit ng lupus anticoagulant and even Coumadin therapy, unreliable ang PT. So anong gagamitin? Factor 10 assay. Is it clear? Okay. Next, punta tayo sa PTT. PTT is partial thromboplastin time or your APTT. So ang principle naman nito, you will add naman the PPT reagent doon sa platelet poor plasma. Same, i-measure niya yung time required to form fibrin clot from the initiation of clot until mag-form yung clot. So again, this is in seconds and you measure this via optical or electromechanical sensor. Now, unlike the PT, this measures naman deficiency or detects deficiency in factors involved in the intrinsic and also common. Naintindihan? So ano-ano yung mga makakapag-prolong? So yung mga involved sa intrinsic at sa common. That includes prekallikrein, high molecular weight kininogen, factor 12, 11, 9, 8. Sa common, you have 10, 2, and 1. Okay? So during heparin therapy, nagbabind po ang heparin to antithrombin that will neutralize as well factor 2, 10, and other coagulation serine protease. Katulad din kanina sa PT, pag ang patient gumagamit ng lupus anticoagulant, anong nangyayari? Napoprolong. Bakit? Kasi naneutralize yung phospholipid na nandun sa reagent. Okay? And also, prolong din ang PTT kung may presence ng anti-factor 8 antibody. Naintindihan po ba? Okay? Next. So let's move on to the specimen. Ganun din ang fibrinogen ha, fibrinogen. Madedetect lang ang fibrinogen deficiency kung less than 100 mg per dl na lang. Naintindihan po? Okay. Now, let's move on to the specimen. Same. Kung ano yung specimen sa PT, yun din ang gagamitin natin for PTT. But you have to remember the PTT reagent is different. Okay? From the PT reagent. So, sa PTT reagent, yung phospholipid, okay, that is made up of partial thromboplastin or cephalin, that is added to a negatively charged particulate activator. So ito po yung kadalasang ginagamit na negatively charged particulate activator. We have silica, kaolin, ellagic acid, or selite. And then, gagamit din tayo ng another reagent, which is your 0.025 m calcium chloride. So, mas mahaba ang reference interval natin for the PTT. That is 26 to 38 seconds. So, gumagamit din tayo ng PTT para i-monitor ang heparin therapy. So, that includes also mga thrombotic condition such as venous thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, and myocardial infarction. So, ang therapeutic range, kapag nagmo-monitor tayo ng heparin therapy, anyway, i-discuss naman po ang heparin therapy sa anti-platelet therapy. Okay? The therapeutic range, ang ine-expect natin, okay, na normal kapag nagmo-monitor tayo ng heparin therapy for partial thrombin time or for partial thromboplastin time is 60 to 100 seconds. Hindi mo i-expect yung 26 to 38 ha. Kasi nag-monitor ka, yung patient nagtitake ng heparin therapy eh. So kung normal pa rin, okay, yung patient during the heparin therapy, dapat ang PTT niya is between 60 to 100 seconds. Naintindihan? So one is monitor heparin therapy. Another, mapoprolong po siya sa mga ganitong disorder. Like for example, mga hemorrhagic disorders such as the hemophilia A, okay, deficiency ng factor 8 yan. Right? Yung hemophilia B, deficiency ng factor 9. Okay? And then the Rosenthal syndrome is the deficiency in factor 11. Naintindihan? Okay? So, another would be yung vitamin K deficiency. So ano-ano yung mga factors involved? Factor 2, factor 9, and factor 10. Factor 10 would be less sensitive. Okay? So also thrombosis. Okay? Such as the DIC. So parehas po. Katulad ng PT, mapoprolong kung may DIC. Bakit? Nako-consume kasi lahat ng procoagulant. Involved man dito kasama ang intrinsic at saka extrinsic. Kaya pag may DIC, parehas na prolonged ang PT at PTT. Kasi lahat ng procoagulant nako-consume during this disorder. Okay? So you can confirm the DIC with using other tests such as the D-dimer, platelet count, and also erythrocyte morphology. Naalala po yon. Kapag erythrocyte morphology, ang hahanapin natin yung mga spherocytes. Okay? And then, ang DIC sa platelet count, okay, mababa. Di po ba? Ang platelet count, mababa kasi even the platelets are consumed. Okay, ang D-dimer okay, dapat makaka-create tayo ng maraming D-dimer kasi maraming nag-form na clot. At dahil maraming nag-form na clot, okay, marami pong nabuong fibrin. And one of the product of the fibrin is the D-dimer. Remember, mataas ang D-dimer kapag may DIC. So, again mag-DIC dahil parehas na increased or prolonged ang PT-PTT, pwede natin i-confirm using other tests. D-dimer, platelet count, and erythrocyte morphology. And then we also have the autoimmune disorder. Kung halimbawang may anti-factor 8 o kaya anti-factor 9 or even the lupus anticoagulant, that will also prolong your PTT. So remember, ano bang lupus anticoagulant, no? Yung immunoglobulin niya may affinity para sa phospholipid-bound protein, okay? And that is present sa ating reagent. Okay? Next. Thrombin clotting time. So ano naman ang principle ng thrombin clotting time? So the principle is with the use of a bovine thrombin reagent. Okay, with NIH units per ml, okay, that cleaves the fibrinopeptide A and B from the plasma fibrinogen para makaform ng detectable na fibrin polymer. So, ibig sabihin, ina-activate nito, no, yung thrombin at tinetest yung polymerization ng fibrinogen. So, actually, ang TCT, same ang ine-evaluate natin na pathway, similar with your reptilase time assay. But, yung reptilase time, that is unaffected by heparin. Kasi ang TCT, this is affected by heparin therapy. Okay, I repeat same ang pathway na ini-evaluate ng reptilase time at ng TCT. Yun nga lang, ang TCT is affected with heparin. Okay? Ang reptilase, hindi. I-discuss natin later why. Okay, unahin muna natin tong PCT. So ano po yung mga factors na deficient, okay, para ma-prolong ang TCT? So that would be factor 2 and factor 1. Again, for factor 1, kailangan dapat ang fibrinogen less than 100 mg per dl. So as I've mentioned earlier, affected po ito ng heparin. Kasi si heparin nagbabind kay antithrombin na nag-neutralize kay factor 2. Kasama po siya sa nagpapaprolong ng thrombin clotting time. Also, na poprolong din ang TCT by the presence of the fibrin degradation products. Okay? Next. Ito naman ang reference interval. So that is between 15 to 20 seconds. So, ito po yung mga clinical application kung kailan po napoprolong ang TCT. So we have dysfibrinogenemia, hypofibrinogenemia, and afibrinogenemia. So before a prolonged TCT may be considered as evidence of diminished or abnormal fibrinogen, the presence of antithrombotic substance. Ano yung mga antithrombotic substance? Heparin, yung mga FDPs, or paraproteins must be ruled out first. Okay? So, ibig pong sabihin, bago natin sabihin na may dysfibrinogenemia, may hypofibrinogenemia, or afibrinogenemia, kung prolonged ang TCT, kailangan mo munang i-rule out na hindi dahil kay antithrombotic substance yung pagiging prolonged ng TCT or ng TT. Klaro po? Ulitin ko ha, bago mo sabihin na may problema sa fibrinogen kung prolonged man ang TT mo or TCT, kailangan i-rule out mo muna na hindi yun dahil kay heparin, FDP, or paraprotein. Okay? Kasi napoprolong din ang TT or TCT by the presence of the antithrombotic materials, katulad nga nung nabanggit natin. Okay? Napoprolong din ang TCT or TT in the presence of oral direct thrombin inhibitor, katulad ng dabigatran. So, dabigatran is a direct thrombin inhibitor. Okay? Factor 2. So, TCT will provide binary or qualitative evidence for dabigatran wherein magiging markedly prolonged itong test na to in the presence of that therapy. Okay? So, pag normal ang TCT, ibig sabihin, hindi dahil kay dabigatran. Understood? And then there's what we call as the plasma diluted TCT. This is a TCT modification that will provide a quantitative measure of the dabigatran. Okay? When used with calibrators of specific drug concentrations. Okay? So ulitin ko guys, ang TCT hindi din sensitive kay factor 13 deficiency. I repeat ha, katulad ng PT at TTT, ang TCT hindi din napoprolong ng deficiency ng factor 13. Tandaan yan ha, pare-parehas PT, PTT, TCT, not affected, not sensitive to factor 13 deficiency. Clear? Okay, now, let's talk about the reptilase time. So the reptilase time is under the group of what we call as the Venom-activated assay. So ang principle po nito, gagamit po tayo ng thrombin-like enzyme. We call it as the batroxobin. Galing po yan sa venom ng Bothrops atrax, okay, which catalyzes the conversion of the fibrinogen to fibrin. So in contrast to thrombin, kinikleave lang ng enzyme na to yung fibrinopeptide A. Di ba kanina, kinikleave yung fibrinopeptide A and B. Dito, ang kinikleave lang is fibrinopeptide A. Clear? So, in contrast, so for what are the clinical application? So again ha, ulitin ko, hindi ito affected by heparin. Okay? And even factor 13 deficiency as well. So napoprolong lang ang reptilase time kung may dysfibrinogenemia. Pag sinabi natin dysfibrinogenemia, ibig sabihin merong functional problem kay fibrinogen. High po is mababa. And also, that would be in the presence of FDPs, fibrin degradation product, and paraprotein. So as you can see, halos parehas sila ng ine-evaluate ng TCT. Except that, okay, reptilase time is not affected by heparin. Clear yun? Next, proceed tayo sa Russell Viper Venom test. So, Venom-activated test din po ito. So, yung Russell Viper Venom, okay, is from the Diboa Russelli Viper na tinitrigger naman ang coagulation level natin at factor 10. So, this is once used as an alternative for PT. So this was named Stipventine, pero this is now already obsolete, no? So napoprolong po ito, okay, kapag ka merong LAC, okay? LAC or lupus anticoagulant therapy, okay? And then this is the mixing study. So sa mixing study naman guys, minimix natin either either immediate PT or PTT, okay? Or ini-incubate natin, okay? APTT measured after, no? Mix incubated for 1 to 2 hours at 37 degrees Celsius. So, yung patient plasma at saka yung normal pooled plasma, minimix natin yan in 1:1 ratio. Okay? Yung patient plasma at saka yung normal pooled plasma. So, katulad po nito. So, immediate mix, i-measure na after immediately mixing, i-measure natin yung PT at PTT immediately. Tapos, ini-incubate natin yung sample after 1 to 2 hours at 37 degrees Celsius. And then, i-measure po natin yung PTT. Naintindihan? So, kapag na-correct yung, pag na-correct natin yung PT and PTT after the initial mixing, that is because of factor deficiency. Pero, kapag yung clotting time hindi natin na-correct after mixing, there is probability of presence of inhibitor. Kasi, ganito po yan, no, to explain it further. So, halimbawa, may factor deficiency dun sa patient. Dito, sa normal pooled plasma, normal ang level ng lahat, normal level of all factors. So, syempre, kung may deficiency, tas dinagdagan mo ng normal pooled plasma na normal lahat ng level, pag nag-perform tayo ng PT-PTT immediately, no, kung may deficiency man dun sa patient plasma, mako-correct agad. Okay? Ibig sabihin, normal ang PT-PTT. Understood? Pero kung na-incubate mo, no, tapos, o kaya naman, measure mo immediately and still merong deficiency or hindi na correct, that would be because of the presence of inhibitor. Kasi kahit nadagdag ka ng dagdag ng normal plasma na may normal level ng lahat ng factor, kung meron namang antibody na sumisira doon kay factor, no, hindi po mako-correct because of the antibody. So that's the main principle, no, with the mixing study. So I repeat, yung i-mix natin yung patient plasma with normal pooled plasma. Sa patient plasma, may deficient ka na factor, magdadagdag ka ng normal plasma na kompleto lahat ng factors. So dapat pag pinag-mix mo sila, dapat normal. Okay? That will confirm na yung plasma ng patient may factor deficiency kasi na-correct. Okay? No, dinagdag natin na normal pooled plasma. Do you understand the principle in the mixing study? Okay? Initially, may kulang. Magdagdag ka ng normal pooled plasma na correct. So, ibig sabihin, factor deficiency. Pero kung nagdagdag ka ng normal pooled plasma at hindi pa rin na-correct ang PT-PTT, ibig sabihin, may presence ng inhibitor sa mga factors. Naiintindihan po? Okay, so ganito guys ha. Okay, so yung prothrombin time, okay, initially ay prolonged. Pero after mixing study, na-correct. Ito po yung possible diagnosis. Pero kung halimbawa, prolong yung PT, nag-perform ka ng mixing study, hindi na-correct, ito po yung mga probable reasons. May factor inhibitor or may direct factor 10 inhibitor. Okay? Factor inhibitors to 7, 10, 5, and 2. Sa APTT, okay, prolonged at initial, nag-mixing study, na-correct. So, ito po yung mga possible reason. Merong deficiency kay factor 8, 9, 11, and contact factor. Okay? Rarely, pwede rin because of the von Willebrand disease. Okay? Hindi mako-correct kung may inhibitor, may heparin, may thrombin inhibitor, and also lupus anticoagulant. So halimbawa, PT, PTT are both prolonged na correct. So ito po yung mga reason. Kapag hindi na correct, may mga inhibitors. Naintindihan? Okay, now, this is a diagram that will help us further understand. So, unahin po natin yung top left. Okay, when PTT result exceeds the upper limit, ibig sabihin prolonged. Okay, ng PTT reference interval, if it is prolonged, you perform thrombin time para ma-detect natin kung yan ay dahil sa heparin. Okay? Or kung yan ay dahil sa dabigatran. Kuha? If the TTT exceeds, no, the TT reference interval, ibig sabihin if it is prolonged, okay? Assume natin na heparin, may heparin na present or may dabigatran na present. Okay? Then, you treat an aliquot of the specimen with Hepzyme. Dito na tayo. Okay? And repeat the PTT. If the PTT remains prolonged after, if it remains prolonged after the Hepzyme treatment, you check for the presence of the bigatran. Okay? Presence of the bigatran. If it is normal, then assay for the presence of heparin. Naintindihan? So if the bigatran is present, discontinue the mixing study. Pero kung walang dabigatran na present or if the TTT was normal, you proceed with the mixing. Okay? Mixing ng patient plasma with the normal plasma, and then you perform PTT on the mixture. So if the PTT remains uncorrected, okay, if it is remain uncorrected in comparison to the normal pooled plasma, proceed to assay of your lupus anticoagulant. Now, if the PTT mix correct, if the PTT mixture corrects, okay, so dito tayo, prepare 1:1, new ha, new, 1:1 mix, and incubate at 37 for 2 hours, and then you repeat your PTT. You compare the incubated versus, you compare the incubated, okay, new pooled plasma or normal pooled plasma. If the incubated PTT shows correction, okay, then assay for factor deficiency. Kung na-correct, dahil yon sa deficiency sa factor. Pero kung kahit na nag-incubate ka, hindi pa rin na-correct, anong possible reason? Merong inhibitor or may lupus anticoagulant. Naintindihan? Okay? Bakit nag-incubate ka pa? Kasi po yung mga lupus anticoagulant, 15% ng cases ay temperature dependent lupus anticoagulant. Okay? Kaya nag-i-incubate tayo. So panibagong bali dalawang klase ng mixing yung ginawa natin. Yung una, immediate. Yung pangalawa, may incubation. So ulitin natin ha, PTT is prolonged. Mag-perform ka muna ng thrombin time. So kung prolonged, okay, magdagdag ka ng Hepzyme. Okay? So kapag nagdagdag ka ng Hepzyme, ulitin mo ulit yung PTT, kung normal, posibleng dahil yon sa heparin. Pero once na nirepeat mo yung PTT after the addition of Hepzyme at prolonged siya, dabigatran. Pag dabigatran ng reason, end na tayo doon. Magko-continue ka kapag magko-continue ka kapag yung PP ay normal. Okay? Magmi-mixing study ka na. Kapag nag-perform ka ng PPP uncorrected dahil yun sa lupus anticoagulant. Pero kung na-correct, magse-second mixing ka. Pero in that mixing study, may incubation period na. 37 degrees Celsius, 1 to 2 hours, i-repeat mo yung PP. Pag na-correct, dahil sa factor deficiency. Pag hindi na-correct, that could be possibly because of the inhibitor or because of the lupus anticoagulant. Clear po yun. Okay? Next, after, we have the fibrinogen assay. So itong fibrinogen assay, guys, no, ang principle nito is the modification of your PCT. That is called the Close method. This is a recommended procedure for estimating the fibrinogen function. Yung PPP, platelet or plasma, dinadilute natin yan ng 1:10 with Oren buffer. We add the bovine thrombin at 50 to 100 NIH units per ml. This will convert your fibrinogen to fibrin polymer. So, the interval of the clot formation is directly associated with the concentration of the functional fibrinogen. Okay? So, diluting the PPP will minimize the antithrombotic effect of your heparin, FDPs, and paraprotein. Okay? Yung heparin level less than 0.6 units per ml at yung FDP level less than 100 mg per DL will not affect the fibrinogen assay, provided that yung fibrinogen natin is more than 150 mg per DL. Okay po? Okay? So guys, kapag ang thrombin reagent is concentrated at saka yung PPP is diluted, the relationship is linear sa fibrinogen concentration. Directly. Okay? Directly proportional. Naintindihan? So, ibig sabihin, the more na mahaba yung clot formation, okay, ibig sabihin, mas marami ang functional na fibrinogen. Clear? Okay, next. The reference interval for the fibrinogen assay is 220 to 498 mg per DL. Okay, mapoprolong to, syempre, kung may hypofibrinogenemia. So, if it is less than 220 mg per DL, that is because of a congenital, okay, hereditary disease or associated with DIC or severe diseases. So, also, mapoprolong ang fibrinogen assay kapag may liver disease, pregnancy, chronic inflammation. Okay, it will raise the fibrinogen level to more than 498 mg per DL. May congenital na fibrinogenemia. Okay, mapoprolong ang clotting time and it is associated with anatomic hemorrhage. This fibrinogenemia, it will resemble your hypofibrinogenemia. Okay, as abnormal fibrinogen species are hydrolyzed more slowly by thrombin than the normal fibrinogen. Okay? So, next. After nating ma-perform CPT, PPT, PCT, yung mga venom-associated coagulation assay, fibrinogen assay, then we will now perform yung mga single factor assay. Okay? Single factor assay. So, ibig sabihin ng single factor assay, ide-determine mo na yung individual level ng bawat factors mo. Halimbawa, factor 10 assay, factor 7 assay, factor 8 assay, etc. Naintindihan? So, ito po yung summary, no? Summary po ito ha, hindi po ito under ng single factor assay. Okay, so now, kapag prolonged ang PTT, normal ang PT, normal ang PCT, okay, mag-mixing study ka. Kung walang correction, okay, congenital single factor deficiency siya. Okay? So halimbawa, kung may factor 8 deficiency, that's hemophilia A. Factor 9 deficiency, hemophilia B. Factor 11 deficiency, Rosenthal syndrome. Okay? So, another single factor is your factor 13 assay. Katulad nga ng sabi ko sa inyo kanina, hindi po affected ang PT, PTT, TCT ng factor 13 deficiency. So, we have to perform a single factor assay, specifically known as the factor 13 assay. Chromogenic po ito. Okay, we will quantitate factor 13 activity based on the measurement of ammonia released during in vitro transglutaminase reaction. So yung plasma factor 13 is activated by reagent thrombin. Your factor 13A will cross-link with a fibrin, amine substrate, okay, glycine ethyl ester, to the glutamine residue of the peptide substrate that will release the ammonia. So the concentration ng ammonia is dependent on the NADPH. So yung NADPH consumption is measured by the decrease of absorbance at 340 nanometers. So yung absorbance is proportional to the factor 13 activity. Tandaan, ulitin ko lang ha, yung factor 13 deficiency, no, hindi affected by PTT, PT, TCT, okay, and even platelet count. Normal din po pag may factor 13 deficiency. Normal din ang fibrinogen level kung may deficiency sa factor 13. Understood? So hanggang dito lang po yung discussion natin nung mga clot-based test for the secondary hemostasis. Do you have any question or clarification? Okay, so kung wala naman, reminder na lang, no? I will be sending a quiz to Sir Erwin regarding our topic last time, but he will be scheduling it. Okay, so sa kanya nyo na lang tanungin kung kailan i-facilitate yung quiz. Okay, so anyway, yun lang naman for today. Kung wala na pong tanong, pwede na po kayong mag-leave. Your attendance have been recorded.